The first thing my sister did when I walked into the courtroom was smile. Not nervous, not fake polite. A real smile. Like Christmas morning. Then she leaned toward me while the bailiff adjusted the seating chart and whispered, "You should get comfortable. I heard the psych ward has terrible food." My mother laughed under her breath. My father didn't even look at me, and suddenly every single person in that courtroom looked exactly where they wanted me to be cornered, broken. Crazy. I could feel it in the way people stared, the way my mother dabbed fake tears from her eyes, the way my sister held my old medical records like she was holding a murder weapon. They had rehearsed this every second. Every lie. Every fake concern. And the worst part, for a moment, I actually looked insane. My hands were shaking. I hadn't slept properly in days. My mascara was smudged because I'd cried in the courthouse bathroom 20 minutes earlier after hearing my father tell their lawyer, "She won't hold it together long." They wanted me emotional, because emotional women are easy to label unstable, especially when your own family says you are. The clerk called the case. Everyone stood. And that's when it happened. The judge walked in, looked down at the paperwork, then looked directly at me and froze. Not for a second. Long enough for the entire courtroom to notice. My sister stopped smiling. The judge narrowed his eyes, like he recognized me, then quietly said, "Miss Bennett?" My stomach dropped, because I recognized him too, and suddenly, everything changed. 3 months earlier, I still believed my family loved me. That sounds pathetic now, but when you spend your whole life being treated like the difficult child, you learn to survive on crumbs. My sister Vanessa got praise. I got concern. Vanessa was sensitive. I was dramatic. Vanessa forgot things because she was overwhelmed. I forgot things because something might be wrong with me. That phrase followed me my entire life. Something might be wrong with Claire. My mother used it constantly, especially around other people. She gets emotional. She imagines things. She's always been unstable. The older I got, the more careful they became with it because they never said enough for outsiders to question them, just enough to plant doubt. Tiny comments, tiny cuts, tiny poison drops, and over time, people started believing them. Teachers, family friends, even boyfriends, especially after college. That's when the gaslighting became professional. I'd come home and find things moved. My laptop missing files, texts deleted, conversations denied. At first I thought I was exhausted from work. Then I thought I was stressed. Then I started writing everything down because I genuinely became afraid I was losing my memory. And every single time I questioned something, Vanessa would give me that look. That fake sympathetic look. "Claire, are you okay?" I hate that look. Because it sounds kind. But it's really a knife. The courtroom smelled like old paper and burnt coffee. The judge kept glancing at me while my family's attorney spoke. And my father noticed. I could see it. His confidence flickered for half a second. Then he recovered. "Our concern," the attorney said smoothly, "is Miss Bennett's increasingly paranoid behavior. The family believes temporary psychiatric evaluation is in her best interest." Temporary. Such a harmless word. Like they were sending me on vacation, not trying to legally strip away my autonomy. My mother sniffled loudly. Perfect timing, honestly. She should have won an Oscar. "She accused us of stealing from her," the attorney continued. "She claimed her sister manipulated her devices. She's demonstrated delusional fixation and emotional instability for years." Years. That word mattered. Because they were building a pattern. That's how institutionalization works, not one breakdown, a narrative. And they had spent my whole life writing one about me. The attorney held up printed screenshots, texts, emails, journal entries, all carefully selected, all making me look unstable. I heard someone in the gallery whisper, "Oh my God," exactly what my mother wanted. Then Vanessa spoke, and she almost sounded sad. "I just want my sister safe." I nearly laughed. Because 3 nights earlier, she'd threatened me in our kitchen. You should stop fighting this, she told me while pouring wine. I remember every detail. Red nails, white silk blouse, that smug little smile. You're making this harder on yourself. You forged medical documents, I whispered. She tilted her head. Can you prove that? Then she leaned closer and quietly said, no one believes you, Claire. That's the funny part. I still remember the cold wave that hit my stomach, because she believed she'd already won, and honestly, at that point, I thought she had too, until I found the receipt. Back in court, my lawyer finally stood, public defender, overworked, exhausted, but sharp. Your Honor, she said carefully, we request the court review the source origins of the psychiatric records submitted by the petitioner. Vanessa shifted instantly, tiny movement. But I saw it. Fear. My father placed a hand on her arm. The judge noticed that too, and then he looked at me again. Longer this time. Like he was remembering something. Something important. But before he could speak, my mother suddenly burst into tears. Real performance tears. She threatened herself. She cried. She screamed that everyone would regret betraying her. That got reactions. People turned toward me immediately. And here's the scary thing. I had screamed that after weeks of gaslighting, after realizing someone had accessed my bank account, after finding missing prescriptions I never took, I snapped for maybe 30 seconds. And they recorded it. Not what caused it. Not Vanessa laughing beforehand. Just my reaction. That's the trick toxic people use. They provoke the explosion, then film the smoke. The judge requested the recording, and when it played, I looked awful, crying, yelling, shaking. My voice cracked while I screamed, "You're ruining my life!" Vanessa lowered her eyes like a wounded saint. My father looked devastated. Meanwhile, I sat there silently, because I knew something they didn't. The recording was edited, and if the full version came out, their entire case would implode. But I couldn't reveal it yet. Not yet. Because I needed them confident. People make mistakes when they think they've already won, and Vanessa had been making mistakes for weeks. The judge paused the video halfway through, then suddenly asked me, "Miss Bennett, have we met before?" The courtroom went dead silent. My mother looked confused. I swallowed carefully. "Yes, Your Honor." Vanessa turned toward me so fast her chair squeaked. The judge leaned back slowly, and suddenly I saw it. Recognition. Not vague recognition. Specific recognition. The kind you never forget. Because 4 years earlier, his daughter almost died in front of me. Nobody in court knew that, not even my family. 4 years earlier, I was working night shifts at a community clinic while finishing graduate school. One rainy night, a teenage girl came in struggling to breathe after an allergic reaction. The ear was overloaded. Doctors delayed. Her father panicked. Everyone panicked. Except me. I noticed her airway collapsing before the monitors fully caught it. I forced a physician to intervene immediately, and that decision saved her life. The father never forgot me. Neither did the girl. And now, that father was staring at me from the judge's bench while my family tried convincing him I was delusional. I saw the exact second it started bothering him, because people with genuine instability don't usually spend years helping others survive crises, but manipulators forget one dangerous thing. Good people leave witnesses behind. My daughter remembers you, the judge said quietly. Vanessa's face drained of color. She talks about you often. The courtroom shifted. Tiny energy change. But massive. My father immediately interrupted. Your Honor, with respect, Claire has always presented well publicly, always presented well publicly. That sentence sounded wrong even to the lawyers. The judge's eyes snapped toward him. And privately, he asked. My father hesitated. That hesitation mattered. Because predators rely on confidence. The moment confidence cracks, people start noticing details. And suddenly everyone started noticing details, like how my mother kept squeezing Vanessa's hand whenever certain evidence came up, like how Vanessa avoided eye contact during questions about the psychiatric evaluations, like how neither of them could explain why three separate doctors used nearly identical wording in their reports. That's when my lawyer dropped the first bomb. Your Honor, she said, we subpoenaed metadata from the submitted medical files. Vanessa stopped breathing. Literally. I watched her chest freeze. My father slowly turned toward her, and for the first time all day, I saw panic. Real panic. My lawyer continued. The records were modified from a private device registered to Vanessa Bennett. Silence. Absolute silence. Then chaos. What? My mother hissed. Vanessa immediately shook her head. That's impossible. But her voice cracked. The judge leaned forward. Miss Bennett, he said sharply, are you denying digital alteration of evidence submitted to this court? Yes. Too fast. Way too fast. Then my lawyer calmly added, we also obtained purchase records for psychiatric medications billed under Claire Bennett's insurance, collected by Vanessa Bennett. And suddenly my sister looked like she might throw up. The gallery exploded with whispers. My mother looked between us frantically. No, there's some mistake, there isn't, my lawyer said. Then she handed evidence to the clerk. Receipts, pharmacy logs, security footage, timestamps. I'd spent weeks collecting them quietly, carefully, painfully, because the second I realized they were trying to build a psychiatric case against me, I stopped reacting emotionally and started documenting everything. Every conversation, every missing prescription, every altered file, every lie. Vanessa stared at me in disbelief. Like,